Not a very fun one tonight, guys. Welcome to Starcast Remarks. This is the AGR. I'm already saying it again for Game 15. Maybe we need to go back to PGR for the game against the Minnesota Wild, where the Minnesota Wild get everything out of the Stars tonight. Final score is 7-2. Here at Starcast Remarks, we are brought to you by DraftKings. Make sure you go and use the promo code THPN next time you go and use their app for a special little offer from them, and that lets them know that we sent you, and we'd really appreciate that as well. We're going to go ahead and bring in both Chris and James into the studio here tonight. So who wants to go first, and what on earth do we talk about? Because there's so many things to even discuss. To the decision by Bonus to put Ottinger in when it's 7-2. Why? Where's the so-called offense? Where's the defensive team that apparently this team is? Where do we start? What's y'all's original thoughts?
The obvious place to start is with the goalie. I mean, he lets in 7 goals on, I think it was like 26 shots.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Like, if that's not the cherry on top to convince Jim Nill to move on from Hudobin, I don't know what is. Like, what's going to be the breaking point? Because Ottinger came in his first game. He looked great. 933 save percentage. Really solid through that whole game. And Dobby comes in here tonight and lays an egg.
And
like, the first 2 goals were not bad, but pretty much all the rest were terrible.
Yeah. And the most frustrating thing for me, too, is he did play in the Flyers game the other night. Like, I don't think we mentioned it that much, but he posted a good save percentage against the Flyers. So I don't know why Minnesota's so much different than the Flyers, but he just couldn't keep it out of the net tonight.
Well, he hasn't been consistent at all this year. He had one really good game at the beginning of the year, and then I feel like he had one good period against the Flyers. I mean, honestly, the whole rest of that Flyers game after the first period, they didn't get anything going. We were dominant that entire game. I feel like Hudobin hasn't been good all year long, really, except for 4 periods. And Ottinger has played amazing in the AHL. He's played great in the one game he was up here. I mean, there's no reason why he's still in the AHL. It doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of his talent. It's a waste of our time with Hudobin. There's no reason to keep him here. Ottinger's the future. He's better than what we have right now, and he needs to be playing. It's as simple as that.
Well, and I agree with you that Dobby is a huge reason why we lost tonight. Cam Talbot was really good for the Wild tonight as well.
He was very good, and we still scored 2 goals.
Right, and
in a game like that, we should win.
My thing is yes, he bears the brunt of it, I feel like, but especially in the first period, as I adjust my camera here because I'm too far up. This wasn't completely on Hudobin, right? There were too many odd man rushes. I don't understand. There were some really bad plays by Hakanpää tonight. Hakanpää had
he was terrible
game, and
he
especially
so
that second goal, that goal that you were talking about, Chris, that had no chance for Hudobin.
He was a pylon,
by far terrible.
he was a giant traffic cone. Like, I mean, he did nothing.
How do you leave the reigning rookie of the year wide open like that when he scored 26 goals last season?
Well, and he got megged by the puck too. It went right between his giant oak tree of legs. Like, and it wasn't a super fast pass either. All he had to do was knock it away, like a defenseman. And I guess he can't figure that out. I mean, that was terrible. But I mean, and even that's only 1 goal, and he had a couple of bad plays throughout the game too. But Hudobin let in 5 bad goals. It was 5 bad ones. So, yeah. He bears at least 65, in my opinion, of what happened tonight.
I think higher, honestly, in my opinion, because it just seemed like when we at least had a little bit of push tonight, it was exactly. I don't know what it is with this year. This has felt like the Lindy Ruff year. When after the good Lindy Ruff year, the bad Lindy Ruff year, when we would score a goal, we would start to push and get closer, and then all of a sudden we would let in a goal.
All right, screw the recap. Too many goals for the recap.
Right.
The third period started perfectly. We killed off the power play. Perfect. Bam. Now what do you need? You need a goal in the first 5 minutes. Bam. Got it done. And then we let in a softie. Like he's got to stop it. I mean, when we need a save, he's got to be there to make a save. He's got to help us win. He didn't help us win at all. I mean, he was the number one reason we lost. And I know the defense, it wasn't great tonight, but it was definitely good enough to hold them to 2 goals. I mean, I guess after the 5th goal, the game was a wash at that point.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, I feel like we should have been able to hold them to 2 goals. We held them to below 30 shots, so it's not like the defense was terrible. And I didn't think they had many great chances. They scored on their best chances because they're a high skilled team. But I mean, we got to save a puck. I mean, come on.
Well, and the frustrating thing for me was seeing our best player, Miro Heiskanen, like thoroughly disgusted with the play after the 7th goal. After that 7th goal, I've never seen Miro Heiskanen like that, and he legitimately seemed hacked off, pissed off, whatever add-in verb here after that goal, and that scares me more than anything because he's our best player, and if our best player is beyond frustrated, I mean, we have no chance with this team.
Honestly, I'm happy with that emotion from Heiskanen because he's the best player on the hockey team right now, and whether he's ready for it or not, he's turning into a leader already on the team. I mean, he's in Norris contention already. He's the only one who's been consistently scoring points. If someone's going to get hacked off, I think Heiskanen's a great guy to do it because it's hard for Jamie Benn to lead it because he's not doing anything. Well, he's been better recently, but you know what I mean. He's not he's not a number 1 guy on our team anymore.
The only problem with that whole Norris contention is that he has to be on a good team, and I really feel like the only way that he can win the Norris is if you make the playoffs. Yeah. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case right now. We had the perfect opportunity to really start pushing and really start making up some ground on the Central Division teams. The last 2 teams we played, both both games were great. It was 5-2. We outscored the opposition 10-4. But it was both games, the team was on the 2nd game of a back-to-back. And this was against a really good Minnesota Wild team who has shown up this year. They're 11-5 now. And so which one is it really? Because really what I'm leaning towards right now is the fact that the Stars just took advantage of the fact that there are 2 teams that were really tired, and they scored 10 goals on that. And then this team that we saw tonight is the real Dallas Stars, because that's what we've seen before the 2 games. I think these 2 games was just like a flash in the pan for the Stars.
I disagree with that completely. I mean, you look at the stats from tonight, we almost have 40 shots on goal. We have so many great scoring chances the first and second period. This game, I really will give to Talbot. Talbot looked amazing all game long. He was outstanding.
He did. Hats off to him. Seriously.
And then we still get 2 goals later in the game too. So we score goals, and their goaltender was playing great. Who knows what happens if we actually keep the game close? I think we would have made it a game. At least it would have been 3-2, in my opinion. But I thought the team game was great. I thought Hudobin was awful, and that was the number 1 thing. And yeah, Hakanpää made a bad defensive play. Robertson had a couple bad plays on the power play, but 5 goals go to Hudobin almost entirely, in my opinion.
So, and I put this on Twitter as soon as Dobby was pulled. There better be no freaking, decision as to who the next goaltender will be starting on Saturday. If it's Hudobin or even if it's Holtby, I'm gonna be really ticked off. I'm serious. It's and this is not for a fact that I don't trust Holtby, because Holtby has been either really really good or average.
Good enough.
Good enough. Average. Okay. But he's hurt. Dobby has not been consistent, has not been good since the bubble playoffs. He's had 1 good game, and we have a young goaltender who we keep pushing off to. I don't understand why you don't start him in this game. That boggles my mind still. In the fact that we know that Dobby has not played well, and he's
overcoming an illness too.
Right,
like
exactly.
He's just coming off an illness, and you're going to start him over the guy that just had a .933 save percentage?
Okay,
it doesn't make sense. So that puts me onto the Fire Bones train.
Okay, that's exactly what I was about to say. Okay,
we're going straight to it.
Right, so let's go ahead into it. So Brandon, even after the 2 wins, are we still on the Fire Bonus train on YouTube? Absolutely, because now that you said that, is it really Dobby's fault, or does this does the blame lie on Bonus for putting Dobby in that situation?
No, it's still Dobby's fault because he sucked. I mean,
Right.
let's not forget
I
about
mean,
that.
right. But if he's still sick and he's overcoming some sort of illness or something like that, and he's still
Yeah,
not 100%,
absolutely.
why would you, as a coach, put somebody in a terrible position like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Bones made a bad decision on that, obviously. But if we're gonna go to that point, let's go a step higher. I mean, why
Okay.
is Ottinger in the AHL? That doesn't make sense. It's literally idiotic. I mean, Carter Hart was given the full reins to the Flyers. I know he didn't have a great year that last year, but he started this year. He's looked amazing.
He's looked a lot better this year. Yes.
I mean, why are we not giving our guys a chance? And I mean, that brings me into the Riley Tufte thing too. I mean, the stories we're hearing about the Riley Tufte situation, it's disgusting. Like, so what I saw on Twitter
What am I not hearing? I haven't heard this.
So Riley Tufte is scratched an hour before game time.
Oh, that's suckish.
Healthy scratched. His hometown is in Minnesota. He bought lots of tickets for his friends and family to go to St. Paul to watch him play in the NHL. He spent all the money that he got from the team for being called up on tickets, and he didn't have enough money. So one of his buddies chipped in to help pay for more tickets too, and he doesn't get to play.
Oh, that is oh, now I understand. Okay, because now I remember seeing this group chat. I'm in the Stars fan group chat about Mike Babcock, and everybody knows what Mike Babcock did to Mike Modano when Mike Modano was in Detroit. So okay, now that makes sense. Okay, well that's crap.
Yeah.
That's absolute crap. I mean,
yeah, full healthy scratch just because he wants Kiviranta to play. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
So,
and Riley
right.
Tufte hasn't even played more than 5 minutes in a game.
I
mean, what are we doing? Honestly, the decisions that are being
in the last game,
the
but
decisions
still,
that are being made
It's not
by
enough.
management is ridiculous. That's the coach, that's the GM, and I mean, this team isn't bad. They built a good team, and they are just managing it terribly. And I mean, it's simple. I mean, like from the outside in, it seems simple. Like Ottinger needs to be in, trade Hudobin, play our young guys who can score. I mean, Peterson's only been in a couple of NHL games and he has 2 goals. I mean, that's more than Klingberg. Klingberg has 0. I think he's barely below Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn's played every game this year. I mean, it's more than Radulov. Like, come on. Like, this stuff isn't hard. Like, let's go. It's easy.
Yeah.
And no one will make that decision.
Couple more comments here. When you get the this is our mom. If mom approves, everything is correct. So Stars, you better listen to Mama Chambers. Brandon Perkins says if Dobby was sick, no question you start Otter. So that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. And we do need to give credit where credit is due here. Andrew Phillips on Facebook. Minnesota's defense played well too. I think they deserve credit. They stifled the Stars in the offensive zone, especially on the penalty kill.
I'll give it to their penalty kill. I won't give it to their defense. If you let up almost 40 shots, you didn't have a great defensive game. I mean,
I don't
opinion.
necessarily agree with that because I mean these shots could be shots from the outside and I mean the Stars
we
did
had
have
tons
their
of scoring
chances
too.
We
had a lot.
tons of
We had
scoring
way
chances,
more than
but
Minnesota did.
But I mean even Razor was talking about this in the I think it was in the second period. And I think it was Radulov, and he said that Radulov just completely missed the net. You got to hit the net to get a shot.
All over the ice tonight for the Stars. There's bad shots, and I mean that's a running thing that's been happening for the past half decade too. I mean, I don't know. It should be a simple thing to fix, like practice shooting. I don't know.
So why on? So if and I'm still trying to make some sense out of this with the whole Rick Bonus thing because my mind is still blown at the fact that he did that. If that's really true, that's crap, absolute crap.
It's looking like it's true right now.
And if it's true, I am so sorry, Riley Tufte. That's big old baloney with a capital B.
Why even bring him up if you're not going to play him and then you're going to bench him in front of his hometown?
Right.
Like, what's the point?
Oh, that is so terrible. That is so terrible. I mean, I'm not saying that having Riley Tufte in the in the lineup tonight would have made a difference. I think Dobby still would have let in the 7 goals and it wouldn't have changed much.
But it just
But
shows how stupid the decision making is. Like, what's the point?
It's a human thing. I mean, wouldn't you think that, I mean, like, that's like, I don't know. It just really frustrating when, I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
Yeah,
But
that really like that's like ripping your heart out when you hear that. Like anyone who hears that is like, you just get the gut feeling in your stomach that it just feels bad, and especially after he really hasn't gotten a chance to actually play. Like he had 4 minutes in his first game. Like they were trying to keep him off the ice in that first game.
Well, and that's bonus being pissed off that Blake Como got sent down. Well, he didn't even get sent down,
Yeah.
but just the fact that he got waived.
But words
That's what this is. And Riley Tufte is getting the brunt of it, and instead of getting his fair share of ice time.
Yeah, more rumors on Como. They're saying that he's injured now, but I mean that's awfully convenient. So,
Well, I mean, I truly believe it because Blake Como, I mean, he is 35.
I mean,
He is
I bet he could use a
fairly
couple
injury
weeks
prone.
off, but I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like he's going to be out for about 3 weeks, and you're right. It is awfully convenient that would happen. And maybe that's why nobody picked him up. Maybe the Stars were just honest with everybody and said, he's hurt. He's not going to be able to play for a couple weeks. And
Yeah, sure.
but I don't know. But I don't know about this one. Brandon Perkins says, can we get our money back for Holtby and Hockenpah? I think Janelle kept the receipt. I'll get to Holt. We've already kind of talked about Holtby a little bit. Let's go back to Hockenpah a little bit. Hockenpah has either looked meh or looked really bad. There hasn't been any games where he's been like, really good, or I haven't seen any kind of, death-defying hits or anything, which is what we were kind of hoping and expecting since we lost Alexiak. But what have y'all noticed about the play of Hockenpah, either tonight or in previous games?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. He's been all right, I guess. I mean, he's been doing what a third pair defenseman should do for the most part. I mean, this game he was awful. This was the worst game he's played for us, and he's had a couple of other rough games, but none as bad as this. This is like 100 times worse than any other game he's played for us.
Yeah, it really feels like when he's playing, it's always his partner who's always trying to clean up for him a lot of the time. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andrew in the comments says that Hockenpah has he leads the team in penalty minutes, which I did not know that. So that's another big negative. So I haven't noticed that at all, actually.
Neither have I.
It makes sense being a big, slow guy and with a long stick. You reach that stick out a lot, get a lot of trips, a lot of hooks.
We didn't see that from Jamie Alexiak. And
Yeah,
I'm not trying
he's a better defenseman.
Yeah, and again, like what I was fixing to say is exactly what you just said.
There's another Jim Nill thing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, make equivalency between those two players, between Hockenpah and Alexiak, because Alexiak is a far better player than Hockenpah, right? Especially at this point. But I mean, guys, where do the Stars go from here? Is this like we won 2 games, that's great. This one we just put on the back burner, we just look for the next game, or should we be worried even further like we were, before the 2 regulation wins?
I'm still encouraged by the team play. I mean, I think this team play was still better than it had been before these 3 most recent games, especially on the offensive side. We still moved the puck well through the neutral zone, I thought, which is something that we sucked at in the first 10 games.
Yeah.
And we still got a lot of good chances on the rush. Our power play, even though we only got 1, still looked dangerous all night long. Minnesota held us decently, like Andrew said, but I mean, yeah, we got to get rid of Hudobin. We have to keep Ottinger in the NHL, and he has to have a real shot at being the starter. Because just giving him 1 preseason game and saying, "Oh, well, you missed it," like, come on.
Yeah, and it really for me, it's the players should, for the most part, throw this game away and say this wasn't our night, we lost tonight. But like the coaches have to take from this, like you can't put in people who are sick. You have to like that.
That seems like common sense, right?
You can't do that.
Duh. Well, okay. I'm going to go with Andrew here on Facebook. He's saying, I'm pretty worried, just my opinion. I'm with him. Yes, you can throw away this game as this. We just got blown out, and I mean, even the good teams get blown out every once in a while. I mean, I think the Penguins blew out the Canadians tonight, and it was 6-0. But
Well,
that's the Canadians.
Canadians aren't a good team.
But anyway, what I'm saying is that these blowouts happen every once in a while. But what I'm not encouraged about is the fact that goaltending, which was supposed to be a strong suit for us, has not been solid for us because we were hoping Dobby would have a better season than last season.
Which is a foolish thing to think.
We're choosing to put, against the best team in the Central Division right now. They are the best team unless the Jets win tonight, then they leapfrog them again. But choosing to put in a goalie that is getting over a sickness, is getting over a sickness, over a really young guy who really is showing some promise.
And had a great start.
And had a great start to the game. And yes, the team played better in front of him at home, but who cares? He played well. You need to ride the pony when the pony is working well. And the pony is working well for Ottinger right now, and it's not for Dobby. And I just don't understand that mindset. And then the other fact is that where's the defensive team that this team is supposed to have?
I mean, again, we didn't allow more than 30 shots. I mean, if we look at scoring chances, I don't have them in front of me. I bet the quality scoring chances would be pretty much even tonight.
I think Owen Newkirk, one of the guys on the radio post-game side and intermission side, I think he does some QSC stuff like that just by his own. He just counts it himself. Let me look and see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
Chris, keep going.
There's some third-party stat pages that do it as well, but I think those would be pretty even, honestly. And I think the number one thing tonight was goaltending. But the thing that I'm worried about, and my biggest takeaway from this game, is that our management doesn't make good decisions. The decision to start Hudobin was bad. The decision to not have Ottinger start in the NHL was bad. I said that all offseason long. The decision to not start Riley Tufte for whatever reason, because I guess Kiviranta was going to make such an impact tonight. It was so important that he played. I mean,
invisible.
Yeah, he was invisible. Not to say Riley Tufte wouldn't be, but
Riley Tufte is invisible because he's not getting any freaking playing time.
Yeah, he's not even getting a chance. So
give
my
the kid
biggest
a poor chance. Sorry, I'm off it.
So my biggest takeaway is decision making, from our coach, from our GM. It's got to be better.
So this is, I just looked it up. This is Owen Newkirk, and this is the QSCs, and this is unofficial, so this is just by his own standards. The Minnesota Wild had 21 quality scoring chances. The Stars had 19.
Yeah.
So there you go. That goes to show you right there. It's exactly even. You margin for error 2 or 3. That would be completely even. And here's the thing that's really bad though, is that on 5-on-5 the Stars had 8. On the power play they had 10 quality scoring chances and only had 1 goal to go for it.
And that's what I was saying. Our power play was still good tonight, but Minnesota found a way to just keep it out of their net. They did a good job.
Right. And then on the other side, for Minnesota, 5-on-5, according to Owen Newkirk, there were 14 quality scoring chances and then 6 on the power play. So I think the other thing we need to start looking at is we need to start getting more 5-on-5 goals. And I'm not sure what the difference.
We said that since the season started.
Right. And I would be curious to know what you guys think. What was the difference between? Because we got 5-on-5 goals in the past 2 games, the 2 previous games. We scored 10 goals, and most of them were on 5-on-5. So, do y'all have any kind of analysis as to why, what we did different tonight, and other than goaltending, push goaltending out the side? What was the difference in why we didn't score 5-on-5 tonight?
We started the game slow, is what I feel. As we just
Bingo.
from the get-go, we got
Bingo.
the penalty, and instantly we were on our heels, and for the rest of the first period we were on our heels. So
for the rest of the game we were on our heels.
And then as soon as we got some momentum in the third, Hudobin shot us right in the leg. So that's an easy way to lead to a blowout.
Well, and we had some momentum in the second as well, and then Dobby just shot us in the leg again. So So I just thought that was interesting, and we really should pull that up each night. Owen Newkirk's thing, because that was really good. Um, So, I mean, the Stars continue clicking on the power play, so they did get a chance on the power play. And it's not like we can blame the refs. I mean, the refs were pretty terrible tonight. There were several missed calls on
I mean,
our
we still
side that
had
they
6
missed.
and they had 4.
Right, exactly. That's one. And then the other thing is that, we didn't play defense. We were allowing chances that shouldn't have happened. There were people on the backside completely unguarded, and that happened several times. Several times it was Hockenpie, it was Klingberg. There was one that I saw, Essa Lindell, who was our best defensive defenseman, had an issue a couple of times where he left somebody wide open.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm frustrated with that a little bit as well.
Yeah, we gave up more chances than we should have, but we still only gave up 21, and they scored on a third of them. Like, you should be able to score on a third of your scoring chances. That's a crazy high number. Some of those have got to be stopped. But yeah, other good signs of tonight, our faceoff percentage was good, but for some reason when we win faceoffs, we lose the game. So I guess that's backwards, whatever. And then our penalty kill was good tonight, actually, for the first time in a while. 0 for 4 for Minnesota, like that.
And Andrew pulls this up about the refs when they blew the whistle when Sagan was fixing to wind up and fired it into the net. Honestly, at that point, I didn't think it would matter. It was already too late in the game. We wouldn't have scored. You're right. The refs shouldn't have blown that, but whatever. They gave us 6 power plays, and the Wild only had 4. So I mean, this is a weird one where we win, quote unquote, win the special teams battles, where we kill off all the penalty kills and we actually score a power play goal, and we get completely and utterly destroyed 5-on-5.
For the Stars going 1 for 6, that's not winning for them. I mean, our power play percentage is 30%, and we're half of that on this game. So right. I don't think that's a good power play night for us, honestly. 1 for 6, it needs to be 2 at least.
And somebody we haven't mentioned tonight but I noticed him quite a bit tonight and he scored a goal this evening, was the play of Jamie Benn. What did y'all think about the play of Jamie Benn tonight?
He looked that line looks great still. I mean, the Ben Guriana of Raffle line. I wish we would trade Raffle with somebody else. I mean, he doesn't give much offensively, in my opinion. And I know you disagree with me greatly, but I wish somebody like Peterson or Kivy or I don't know, somebody that has a better chance of being an offensive guy would be in there, but whatever.
Ben looked great tonight. He had a bunch of chances, and it felt like he was going to score like 3 goals tonight. So,
and he would have if it wasn't for Talbot.
Yeah, for real. Like,
so the thing about Raffle, and he's kind of like my new Jason Dickinson. Okay. I know.
I knew you were going to do this whenever we signed him.
I didn't think I was going to like him very much, but the thing is that I've noticed little things. You're right, Chris. He's not the guy that you want. Exactly, James. So he's not the offensive guy that's going to be expected to score goals and stuff like that. But, in the beginning of the year when nobody was scoring goals, who was scoring goals? Michael Raffle. Yeah. Okay? And he does a lot of little things right. And I really need to pull up the Starcastic March profile. But there was one chart that I saw, and I think it might have been from J Fresh Hockey, that had the Flyers game. And the percentage of, quality scoring chances from – actually, no, it was from both games. It was from the 2 regulation wins against the Flyers and – I don't know why I can't remember who the other game we just played.
Red Wings.
Red Wings, thank you. And Raffle was up there, top 3 in both of those games. So, whether he is, actually scoring or whatever, whenever he's on the ice, the team seems to get quality scoring chances. That's my thing. And,
I can't disagree with that. That's totally true. I just think it's luck.
Right now, it may be luck. But you know what? We could use a little bit of luck right now. I mean, if he's really getting quality scoring chances and it's when he's on the ice, freaking double shift him. I don't know. Put him with
Raffles our good luck charm.
Right, exactly.
Play him as a defenseman. There you go. He doesn't have to touch the puck then.
And I also wanted to...
Especially if he's Hockenpah.
I wanted to ask y'all about the frustration from Miro. I think Chris, you kind of already jumped into it a little bit, but James, did the Miro after that 7th goal? Was that scary for you? Did that worry you? Was that because I kind of said it was kind of worrisome for me. Chris said it was a good thing. What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely new. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Miro because we've never
Right,
seen him do that
exactly.
before. So is he frustrated and he's going to take the frustration and take it out on a game, or is he gonna get like, I don't know, snake
In his own
bitten,
head, yeah.
not be able to score or make bad defensive plays, or we'll see.
Good storyline for Saturday.
Any other players that we need to mention that had good games, bad games? Because we mentioned
Hudobin
Ben.
sucked. Did we talk about that?
Yeah. We mentioned Dobby. We mentioned Hockenpah. Klingberg had a rough game.
Robertson had a rough game.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. That was weird. So there was the opportunity for the Stars to get back into the game. It was 3-1. We had the power play, and as soon as the power play was over, the Wild scored and made it 4-1, and that deflated the tires of any kind of comeback that we hoped for. But during that power play, Jason Robertson had 2 egregious turnovers in the offensive zone.
Yeah, he had lots of turnovers on all the power plays tonight.
And Andrew, mentioned this. He's mentioned it 3 times now, and on Facebook. But yeah, agreed. The turnovers were a big part of the slow start, and just specifically for Robertson on those 2 in that power play, and there was even one when it didn't matter anymore.
There was at least one in every power play he was on. I mean, like bad ones.
And that's kind of why we see that their line doesn't do well tonight. I mean, if one of them is turning the puck over whenever they're on the ice, they're not going to be able to get that pressure and be able to score. So
Yep.
All right, guys. I think that just about does it for us. Anything else we need to mention before we close up shop tonight?
the Stars play against the Blues on Saturday in Dallas at 7.
Oh, great.
And
Another
then
good
Edmonton.
team. And another
And
good
then
team.
Edmonton.
We're screwed. Okay.
Hopefully Otter starts.
If he doesn't, I'm gonna be in a complete uproar on Twitter, and I'll be hashtagging fire bonus on. There's now a profile on Twitter that says fire bonus every day, and it's literally somebody who just puts fire bonus every single day. So I still don't know if I'm on that train or not, but if he doesn't,
I'm the conductor, dude.
you the conductor,
I'm blowing the whistle.
yeah, you. And James is in the caboose. He's ready
James
to
is the
drive that
cold
train
boy.
too.
He's shoveling it in. Yeah, but anyway, tune in to the next AGR to find out who Bonus decided to healthy scratch. It's probably gonna be Heiskanen. Can't be having temper tantrums on the ice, young man.
Right? Yeah. No. Right?
Bench
Yeah. We
him.
can't have that. So.
All right.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna call it a night tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you're watching the live stream now or whether you're listening on the podcast side the next morning, we will be back with you guys on Saturday after the game. Once again, make sure that you use that promo code THPN when you go to the DraftKings app, and it gets a little special offer from them. We'd really appreciate that. That lets us know that. Lets them know that we sent you, and that helps us out. So anything that you can do to help us out, we'd really appreciate that. Make sure you follow us on all our social media accounts. I'm at StarsBoy12. Chris is at ChrisChaim2B. James is at JamesTheBomb02. And, of course, follow us on anywhere our social media accounts are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the other jazz as well. We'll catch you guys on Saturday. And we hope you guys have a pleasant, good evening, morning, whenever you're listening. Catch you on the flip side.